All right, you want justice? You want to see some payback for what happened in the past in the United States of America? Look no further. I'm about to break it down and show you because it's about to happen right now. You may have heard in the past, many people have talked about now in the conspiracy, alt movements, crazy, nutty, insane people movements, right? For many years, just call them tinfoil hat people. They'd say the military is the only way. And nonsense, right? You're like, oh, come on. That doesn't make any sense. Military, none of this stuff makes any sense. The military, give me a break. Well, we know now that clearly we've got a lot of stuff that's it's come out as comms, what's called from the number 17, that's actually come to fruition. Credit to real Joshua Reed on X for being the ultimate in cracking the code on the 17. Now, I'm going to show you right now proof of this from today. It's out. It's happened. And I'm going to show you how. Jason Reading Guerys, pardon my awful Spanish, sworn in as United States Attorney for the Southern District of Florida. Immediate release. This is today on Wednesday the 13th. This is important because what was just put out just last week was that, remember, Tulsi Gabbard, who is a lieutenant colonel in the military, active. She's a military officer, the highest ranking intelligence officer of the United States of America, is a active member in the military. So she had intelligence that came out about people in the deep state, who are allegedly have done treason against the United States and a potential incoming president. And she said, she's going to get that information to Bondi, and then Bondi would then Bondi responded, said that she would, take this matter very seriously and talk about appointing special counsel to prosecute these matters and bring what's called a grand jury forward to then begin indictments. Now, I want to show you the special counselor who's going to be bringing forward this grand jury now is this guy. Now, his father is a former refugee from Cuba. He went and did probably came from absolute nothing. This guy's not an elite. He does not come from an elite family. Miami-Dade. As the son of a Cuban political refugee and proud Miami native, I'm deeply honored by the trust and confidence that President Trump, Attorney General Bondi, and the United States Senate have placed in me, said Reading. As United States Attorney for the Southern District of Florida, we will work tirelessly to protect the American people, restore impartial justice, and defend the rule of law. Now, here's the kicker. A decorated 22-year veteran of the United States military, Reading has served in the United States Army and United States Air Force as a cavalry scout, infantry officer, logistics officer, judge advocate. Hello? Judge advocate, military lawyer. He continues to serve as a reserve lieutenant colonel, providing legal counsel on national security and counterterrorism matters to the commander as United States Central Command. All right. What that means, not only is he a patriot, but he's under military justice. He's an enforcer of military justice. Now, that's a big deal. In case you aren't familiar with the military law and how it works, it does not mess around. This is where you've got admiralty law, maritime law, the law of the sea type of situations where the guy on the ship is the boss. These are not but constitutional rights and all this. This is when you're coming in under military law like he is. Okay, it's a whole different standard. And so that's the standard that he's under, meaning that if he's out there playing shenanigans, taking bribes and messing around and giving bad information, well, he's facing the military justice. Okay, the risk of somebody like that is on another level of shenanigans, taking bribes and taking lobbying, for example, right? Because, we know in California, most attorneys, they're schmucks. I'm sorry. I'm calling them out. They're schmucks, liars, thieves, cheats, frauds. I heard for some attorney talking today, oh, 90% of attorneys are great. Dude, you got to be out of your mind. An attorney says that. He's like, 90% are good. Yeah, right, dude. Just the opposite. See, they don't have enforcement. Nobody enforces the power against them and goes after those attorneys. They don't face any justice. Very few of them are in jail or having it's just not that common. So they'll do stuff because they get away with it. But this guy is under the military justice. He's under military law. And now, why is he appointed right now? Well, because that's where they did the raid on Mar-a-Lago. That's where all this stuff has been going down. That's where they prosecuted President Trump. And I'm telling you right now, look for a grand jury to be formed right now, starting today. If it's not, it's going to be starting to be formed. And then look for indictments to drop. Well, we're in August. I'd say October at the latest. And here's the prediction that Joshua Reed made that I'm going to also stand behind, and that will be James Comey. James Comey. He's the one that he tweeted out, 17. He tweeted out 86:45. He went and took a deal. He made a deal with the White House to be the first arrest, and he's going to get immunity. We could see that on the comms all day long. Joshua Reed's pointed it out. President Trump on his post, and Dan Scavino's already posted that he's playing sunshine and rainbows around James Comey. He took a deal. He's ratting everybody out, and he's going to be the first arrest. James Comey, mark my words on this one. And there's your guy right there to begin the indictments after that. Now, Comey's probably not going to be at Florida arrest, okay? But I'm saying that grand jury is going to be forming in Florida right now in Miami, and it's going to start going down. And that's your man. That's your military-style justice attorney with a background in military law and under the military guidelines for who's going to be prosecuting it. So it's happening. Great time to be alive right now. I'll see you at the top. This is Gavin.